Okay, little Smokies. So, we might have had a little bit of a lapse since our last episode, and we'll share what happened coming up here in just a second. But we'd like to welcome you back. Hope you're ready for another fun episode. We're going to talk about some nonsense. If you don't want to hear nonsense, I recommend you dip out. But if you're here for it, let's get into it.
Hello, everybody.
Just kidding. I was trying to trip you up. Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back, all of our faithful listeners.
Yes, and those of you who aren't faithful, we'll take the unfaithful.
Ooh, especially for this episode.
Yeah, only for this episode, though. We don't want you to come unless, you're unfaithful. No, that's not what we're trying to say. But welcome back, everyone. Sorry for the lapse.
Yeah, it's my fault.
Normally I would not let you fall on the sword, but I'm going to let you this time because you got caught by the plague.
I was sick, had an old sinus infection. Infection of the sinuses.
You know what I heard?
What?
It's infectious.
It is.
But I'm happy that you survived.
Better. I did. I'm on the other side. I'm on the other side. What's that song? Hello from the other side.
We'll literally never know what you're talking about when you sing things. Ever. But yeah, long awaited. Sorry about that. We try to stay on schedule-ish. But, Simone was sick. There was also a lot going on in the old, real world. So we had to put it off for a week. Which...
Well, it wouldn't happen if we could get some subscribers, though. So hit the like and the subscribe button. Are they two different things?
Yes, you can like a video and not be subscribed. You could just subscribe and not like a video. You can do none of those things, which is 90% of our viewers. They just do nothing. But engagement is up. We're really excited to see the views on the last episode, and we've had some pretty serious discussions around what we're going to do moving forward, which, surprise, not much different, but we are going to welcome you guys with a video recording here next week. By the time you're listening to this, it'll be next week. So yeah, that works. Next week.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty excited because I feel like they miss out on a lot. Like during the Britney video, I had a stuffed snake.
Mm-hmm. You also danced like you had fake forks that you didn't have. Remember that?
There were knives, not forks.
But didn't you say you used plastic forks?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So we're going to bring you guys a video here coming up next. We're going to try it. I must preface that we've never done that. So here's to hoping we can figure it out since both of us struggle technologically to an extent. So
speak for yourself.
I don't. I'm actually speaking for you. I'm speaking on your behalf with what's going on. We've upgraded some equipment. Simone can't get to work. But eventually we'll get there.
Yes, I'll figure it out by next week.
She said this the last time, everyone. Oh, she's winking. See, you guys are missing that. So stay tuned, subscribe, like the video. Let's get us in the algorithm and all that crap. And we have a really fun episode in store for you guys. We're going to be talking about the horrors.
The horrors.
Yeah. The worst thing that I think I've watched recently, like as far as terrible people go, but well, I don't know, J-Lo, she's got it kind of rough right now, and I'm just gonna throw it out there. I liked the new movie. I liked it.
She's going through a rough spot.
Yeah, we're gonna leave her alone for a little bit, just like the rest of the world, because she canceled all of her tours.
A lot of people missed out.
They are getting refunded, though, I heard. So, I have been waiting to ask you a question, though, Simone, for some time now. And I have held off on this so we can all get an organic response. And this has been like some trend online, I guess, where people ask, I guess, someone, their spouse generally, but, for the podcast's sake, we're going to just ask you. But you have a child. Don't say it because I don't want to offend anyone, but you have a favorite child. Just envision that favorite child that you have. Okay. Now, you have a choice. This child is stranded in the wilderness with either a man or a bear. What do you choose?
I don't know. How do you know I have a favorite child?
All right. Well, then you don't. I'm just,
So I have to pick a child, and I'm trying to close my eyes to paint the scene. I either have to pick a bear or a man. I'd probably pick a bear.
Maybe we shouldn't go with one of your children. Maybe we should go with one of your dogs. But either way, a valued member of your family. Okay.
I'd probably pick a bear.
Really? A bear?
Yeah, because you can. Well, I don't know. I don't know. What's the right answer? I'm feeling very sweaty all of a sudden.
Okay, so here's the thing. What made you think even instinctually off the get to say bear?
Because I feel like you can't trust a man's intentions. A bear, I could scare a bear off.
But you're not there. It's just your child.
It could scare off the bear. I don't know. I just feel like you're safer.
You think Burple's gonna scare off a bear?
Maybe. She's loud enough. Or are you supposed to be quiet? Is that a mountain lion? I would die.
Well, we know that you're a goner. But okay, so now run with me here, because I asked the same thing of my husband and he had the same answer, and I said the same thing to him immediately, because my thought is instantly the man. Now,
why?
I'm not trying to discredit the fact that there is the potential that the man may or may not have bad intentions, right? However, the bear is a fucking bear, dude.
Yeah, but not all bears are mean.
Who do you think this is? Yogi?
I'm just saying. I don't know. Good question.
You'd rather risk it. And you know what's funny is the majority of people answer the bear. And it's supposed to be some virtue signal around how terrible men are and how people can't trust him. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like it's a bear.
I mean, with what we discovered on Ashley Madison, you can see that men be dirty sometimes.
Yeah, but at least I'll give him this. I don't think there was anything underage going on there. Not to mention, I mean, this is supposed to be a child, not like an adult, obviously, going into the woods. But I'm just saying, I just thought it would be interesting. I figured you were going to say bear.
I did.
Most people do. So here's my not shocked face. But also,
but
I would love to hear from the audience.
I don't have any real logic, though.
There's the potential the man could be good and help this individual survive, is my point. There is zero chance that the bear is going to do that. The bear is not, this isn't raised by wolves. What do we think is going to happen? At best, the bear leaves the child alone and they perish to, the environment.
It's a good question.
That wouldn't be a weekly podcast without a little bit of something happening that we weren't prepared for. Okay, well, and we're back. Okay, well, we'll be editing that out. God fucking damn it.
I didn't touch anything.
I know you did it. It just flashed. I think it just glitched. It is what it is. I guess this is our life.
It is.
I don't know what else to say. Bullshit. God, this is as bad as work. Except I have no one to complain to except ourselves. Okay, so at any rate, bear situation out of the way. I just think it's interesting because there's a potential a man would help, but there's zero potential a bear will. So just throwing that out there for everyone, even though I want to know your opinion. Also consider that.
It's pretty crazy.
Okay, so now to the main event. Ding ding.
This is the main event. Sorry.
I was hoping you can go a little deeper with that.
Like Bruce Buffer.
I don't know who that is.
You know who Bruce Buffer is?
I like how you say that, like it's a commonly known individual.
It is. He's the announcer for the UFC fights.
Oh, well, maybe if he was a fighter, I might know, but...
I can't believe you don't know who that is.
All right, everyone, let's get on with this. So, Ashley Madison. Ding, ding. So, Netflix recently did this documentary.
Yep. 3 episodes.
So, what I mentioned last time that somebody had said, hey, you should watch this Ashley Madison documentary. I thought, oh, okay. Thinking it was going to be something about someone named Ashley Madison. Come to find out.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Not a person.
No. So that's the first time you've heard of it.
That was the first time I had heard of it.
I heard about it a while ago. I think I was watching Dr. Phil.
And it was on Dr. Phil?
Uh-huh. That was part of the documentary. You didn't see Dr. Phil there? He was there chatting with the old founder, CEO, Noel.
That's right. I remember now. Yeah, he was there talking to him about what got him in this place.
I love Dr. Phil. But yeah, Ashley Madison. And it was named Ashley Madison because those were the 2 most popular names.
Yeah, really genius marketing there.
It's pretty smart.
I will say at least they got me with the documentary because I didn't know what the hell's going on. But we figure we'll let you guys know kind of what this is because if you're like me, you think it's a person and it's not. And then we're going to talk about what happened with it because it's pretty scandalous. And then we want to talk about something that came up in that documentary that really irritates me. I don't know. Did it irritate you?
Which part? Sam and Nia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So let's start with what Ashley Madison is outside of what you guys have already found out, which is that it is obviously the name of something. So it's a website. It's actually a website that was designed and founded, and this company was founded to bring married individuals together who are looking to have an affair.
Right. Life's short. Have an affair was part of their marketing. Or when monogamy. Wait.
Monogamy is what you're looking for.
I know that's so weird, but I was trying to remember the phrase. When monogamy is monogamous is boring, use Ashley Madison or something like that.
What about the business built on the back of broken hearts?
Oh, wow.
Which is kind of contrary to what they were trying to advertise for a while, but originally it launched in 2002. It was a Canadian company.
Yep, I remember that.
And there was this guy that I had noted in here, and I don't know what happened to it, so I don't remember his name, but it actually didn't start with, it actually didn't start with Noel.
No, because they brought, okay, I remember now. It's all coming back. They brought Noel in, and he kind of, like, revamped it all.
Yeah, he saw what it was and was like, wow, we can make something of this. So some other dude, I know, we're terrible, you guys. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to it. I had it on my notes. I don't know where it went. But at any rate, this guy had this idea, and he actually started this idea in 2002. But it wasn't until around 2007 that Noel became involved with the company, who said, you know what? Let's do this. Let's run with it. I can make this a huge thing. I think there's a huge market for this because the original founder had seen some statistic that said 30% of people dating are married. Seems like a pretty broad statistic. Also would love to know what they mean by that because I say I go out on dates with my husband.
Yeah, I don't think that's what they mean though.
I don't think so either, but I'd really love to know if they had clarified because I feel like 30% is a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot, but
3 out of 10?
Well, good math.
Well, yeah, I really... I do my very best, I really do. So the thing about this is Noel Bitterman, I don't know
I think
how to
it's
pronounce it, but
Bitterman.
this guy, Noel, acquires or becomes some type of, what was that, CEO of this company in 2007, and he wanted to take it to the next level. And he was pretty much the face of the company.
He
Matter
went
of
on
fact,
talk shows.
yeah, talk shows, morning shows, all this, because of course everyone's enamored by this and wondering what the actual, what is going on. What the hell?
And he brought his wife on interviews.
He did. And you know what else he did? Made her the face of the company, so to speak, and had her on billboards and advertisements.
Yep, and he said that he's not a cheater. And
He did.
his wife said, "Oh, if this were to happen to me, I'd be devastated."
Yeah, like if she knew he had done that. But he assured everybody that, you don't roll that way.
Nope.
He's very satisfied and happy, but he understands things. Like there were things he was saying, like on some of these interviews, like you can't tell me how many people I can love, right? Like I can't love my wife, but then also want to have sex with someone else, basically. And he used this analogy saying, well, I have 2 kids. You can't say that I can't love both of them.
Right. That doesn't.
So,
Yeah.
spoiler alert for everyone who may not know. It turns out that we find out that he did cheat on his wife and did do all of these things, which is sad, but also hilarious to me because, of course, someone who's justifying this as a company, you would think that he'd be honest about this when he doesn't think he's doing anything wrong, and his wife's clearly expressed that she would have a problem with it.
Yeah. So people signed up for the website. They put in their real information, their
Yep.
names, their addresses, what they are into that they didn't want people to know about.
They're talking about toe stuff, foot stuff, and
And
other
then,
not feet related.
yeah, and so on the documentary, they highlight a few of the stories. I think like 3 of them, right? Like 3 main ones. There's Sam and Nia. Sam, some Christian vlogger with his wife Nia, right?
Yeah, then I don't remember the other
And
ones.
then I do. I did.
Oh,
I watched this.
so did I, but I don't remember their names.
Oh, I don't remember their names. And then there was a
Oh,
guy who was
well, that's
a,
not helpful.
a guy who was in New Orleans, married for a long time. He's part of a Christian, what's it called? Not convent.
Cult?
No, it's like when people go and it's like Bible college, it'll come back. But they focused on his wife or his
The
ex.
ministry?
No,
I don't
it'll.
know enough about this.
I should know because I grew up in that. But and then they focused on the white guy that was married, and his wife was a dominatrix.
I do remember her. I do like we're not taught. See, the thing is that those two, though, what's weird about this is they're in an open relationship. The
Yeah,
both of them know what they're doing.
yeah,
That makes okay. I don't personally get with that. I can't, it's not for me, but to each his own. You guys
yeah. And
both
they
are
were fine.
acknowledging it.
They were happy.
Yes. But that's not the intention of this website. The intention is to have users sign up and it be discreet and hidden and nobody will know about it. And that's completely the opposite of that open marriage or relationship.
You know, they're pretty genius though, because how it worked is that they would not do monthly subscriptions, right? They would have to pay for credits, and they would have to use the credits to have conversations with these people. So it's actually really smart.
Yeah, it's it's the microtransaction thing, right? I think it was a little early on in its time. That's actually really popular. Don't roll your eyes. I can see it in the future. Microtransactions are really popular in like the gaming world.
Okay.
Yep, there it is. So, where they'll like, you get a game for free, but you got to get the battle pass to have access to the characters
Oh
and
yeah.
and then to get these special skins and whatever. It's trash, but it's very microtransaction-y, right? Like you have to get these credits to be able to have these chats with people. So from a business standpoint, it's still practiced and used to this day, just in different ways. Obviously, not whore chats, but well, actually, uh, uh, in doing some research on this after watching the documentary, the way the documentary ends, it doesn't really give you much about
No.
where Ashley Madison is now, right?
Still
Uh,
around.
Still around, everyone.
I could
What
sign up
is
right now. I won't, but I could.
Well, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but it's just crazy to me that it's still around. People would still be using it or are using it, I guess.
Mhm.
Anyway. So you guys get the gist of it. It's a website where it's like what are those dating websites that people use?
Dating
I've
website?
been married and with my husband for 17 years. So
Online dating websites? That's what they
yeah,
are.
like I don't know, like an app or whatever people use now. I
Farmer
was
needs a wife.
sure that'll work.
Humble
It's your
Trumbull. What's it?
what would you Tinder. Is it Grinder? No, I don't know. I don't know what these are. I just hear them at random. I don't know. One of those things, but it's like that, but for married people. So it's still around.
It is.
But the reason why we're shocked is because in 2007, he takes this over. He starts, expanding this internationally. It's in India. It's in Canada, because that's where it started. It's in, it's in the United States. It's in Mexico. I mean, it's everywhere, right?
Yep.
Fast forward to 2015, it's a very lucrative company. They're actually getting really close to being a publicly traded company, which would bring in even more revenue. And they get hacked. The good old hack.
The Impact Team.
Yep. They called themselves the Impact Team. Also, just throwing it out there, if you're going to be a hacker and do some shady ass stuff, pick a cool name. The Impact Team. That sounds like something our work would ring up. That's like saying fucking Tiger Team. If I hear that shit one more time, I'm going to throw something.
It is. But they got the police involved and they offered like a $500,000 reward, I think it was. And nobody came forward. And that's because the police think that it's not actually a team, but it's one person. Because usually, if that much money's involved, somebody's gonna turn. I would. I'd turn on you for $5,000.
Turn on me for what?
I don't know. If we were at some hackers.
Well, we're gonna pack it up, everyone. I see where I stand. What the I thought you were my partner in crime here. Like
I am, but I got bills to pay.
In crime, that whole bit.
I mean, but if someone's gonna offer me money,
$5,000, you don't. So what you're saying is, our friendship and this podcast and all the things that we do isn't even worth $5,000.
I mean, it depends.
Or it's worth exactly $4,999, and it's just right over the cusp if someone says $5,000.
I'm just saying, that's how they think. That's why they know that or think it wasn't more than one person. Because someone would flip.
Because you would turn on.
You wouldn't turn for $500,000.
$500,000, sure, but I'm still stuck on the $5,000 that you just quoted, which is a low bar.
I gotta pay bills. So
we're not even gonna go down the rabbit hole of what you do for $1 million. Good Lord. Like, I don't even want to know. All right, so now that we've learned that Simone would throw me to the wolves for nothing for a bucket of KFC,
that
actually, that
tasty.
does sound pretty good right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm
might be going
hungry.
to get me some fried chicken.
Raw
So
mashed potatoes.
I say KFC, and the thing you think of is mashed potatoes.
Yeah, and rolls.
They don't even have rolls; they have biscuits.
Oh.
I say KFC, and you think of things that they don't even have at KFC.
That
She's
sounds
like,
good.
"Yeah, the good patty melts at KFC," you know? Okay, so let's let's get on track here to the hacking situation. So, July 12th, 2015 wasn't that long ago. Actually, it was almost 10
Yeah,
years
it
ago.
was.
Sorry. Well, now I'm sad. But the hacking happened July 12th. And what happens is all these employees show up to work, which I'd be lying if when I watched this, I didn't think to myself, let that be my day someday. Let me
Well,
show up, log in, and it be some AC/DC song playing.
careful what you wish for, bro, because we already lived through one of those. No cool music though.
Dude, there was no music, there was no message display, and we were still able to work in a certain capacity, so it sucked. What are you talking about? So, at any rate, they log in, they find out the company has 30 days to shut down the website.
Right, or they're
Or
gonna release all their information.
cat's out of the bag. The nips are out. They are going to show it all. So,
I'd start to panic.
yeah, a little bit. Well, I mean, I guess if you're involved in it, I didn't really care because I didn't even know this company existed. So I didn't even know this all happened until recently. So there's that. But they said they had 30 days to shut it down. They were going to release the stuff. So that's July 12th. July 19th, a whole week later, the impact team, quote unquote, what they call themselves, posts a warning message on this platform called Pastebin. So everybody's surprised face. I didn't know what that was, but
It's the
good
dark
news. I
web.
looked into it. No, it's what?
I have a
No.
question though, real quick. Can you pause for a moment? How
Yep.
does
We'll hit
one
pause.
get on the dark web? Like, do you
Maybe
Google
we
dark?
shouldn't be discussing this on a
Do you
video that we're going to
Google
be publishing.
dark web? Okay,
I
for
no.
the authorities that are listening, I don't want to go on it, but they kept saying they're gonna leak it on the dark web.
Well, I don't know how to get to the dark web. What the hell do you think I am?
You've
I can edit a video. Like, what do you? If I could go to the dark web, I probably wouldn't be working a normal job.
So how did they get all the information?
Look, I watched a horror movie about it once, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the Minecraft interface that this person went on this special computer probably isn't real. But that's as close as I got.
Okay, continue. I just had thoughts of that. Like, how does one get there?
Well, maybe you can Google it and see what it says.
I will. Then I'll end
Yeah.
up in prison and you probably won't bail me out because
Well,
you're not.
just don't go there. You could just ask how to do it. You don't have to actually go. Like, just dip your toe in the water. You know what I mean? Are you doing it right now? Wait, wait until we're done recording, at least in case something happens. God. So they go to this platform called Pastebin, which is not the dark web, but it is a platform that allows users to store and share plain text. And it's compared to like a clipboard. It features things like source code and stuff like, look, I'm not even going to act like I know what the hell I'm talking about. I jujuled it. I looked it up because I was like, what the hell is this? And that's what it said. So do with that what you will. But they made it publicly or more publicly known that they threatened this because up to this point, the company hadn't come out. Avid Life Media is who owns Ashley Madison, had yet to come out to say anything. They kept it hush hush.
Well, they hired 2 of their own people from Sweden.
Yeah, they hired some security people. They were trying to figure out how they were hacked, if they could avoid all of these things, right? But in the whole week time frame, they hadn't come out and said anything publicly. They just kept it on the low.
I think it was an inside job.
What are you doing? What?
Also, I Googled how to access the dark web and it says how to access the dark web safely. a 2024 beginner's guide.
Oh, good.
I guess I know what I'll be doing later.
Does it seem legitimate? Oh, great. Okay. Well, this may be the last. Hopefully, you can make it to the next recording. So they published out on this paste bin saying that they set a 30-day time limit for Avid Life Media to shut down the site or the details would be leaked.
Right.
Okay. So July 20th, Life Media did issue 2 statements publicly at that point, right? It's the next day and they're like, well, I guess now we have to say something about it. That's the way I was looking at it. Like they wouldn't have said nothing if, you know.
Well, they don't want to cause everyone to freak out that's cheating on their spouse.
It's a little selfish, though, I feel like, at any rate. If you want to be a publicly traded company, which they weren't yet, but they were on the cusp of doing that, you can't do stuff like that, dude. But,
yeah.
Okay. So they released 2 statements. They said, an attempt by an unauthorized party to gain access to our systems has happened, yada, yada. And they also announced a joint investigation. So it's a combination of Ashley Madison employees, some of the people like you were talking about from Sweden that they had, enlisted over. They got the Swedes involved. And I thought the guys were really cool on the documentary. I thought it was, I don't know, thought it was funny when the guy's like, we're Swedish. We don't care.
Yeah.
We accept everyone. I'm like, hey, right on, man. Except I still think this is a trash website. Cybersecurity people, all of that. So July 22nd, 2015, the Impact team, pre-30 days, released the details of 2 users. One in Brockton, Massachusetts, and another in Ontario, Canada. Good old Canada.
Yep.
So this was the first quote-unquote data leak, you could say, but I think it was more of just like a flex to say, hey, we can do this. Don't think that we can't, and we will.
Right. They were showing a little of their cards. Boop.
Yeah, they were flexing a little bit. So August 18th, 2015 rolls around. The Impact team's 30-day window expired, but Ashley Madison and establishment they were still online. So they didn't heed the warning, dude. They just did what it said they were too big to fail. That's even what they said in the documentary, essentially, is that they weren't going to do it. They weren't, just ridiculous, because they knew that they were going to leak all the things and they still just, Anyway. So they posted another statement on Pastebin, though, and I think this is kind of funny. They said, time's up in all caps. So they ended up publishing their a torrent file that had like 10 gigabytes of user email addresses and all of these individual users' personal information stuff. Okay. It was crazy. It revealed government, military, corporate addresses, all sorts of stuff. Account creation, all of that. So Ashley Madison did release a statement and restated their investigation was ongoing. Well, thank God for that.
Right.
What would we do without that? So August 19th, this guy, Brian Krebs, comes out and says, they did verify the multiple leaked users' data was accurate. It was actually theirs. And so that's a problem, right? So now it's like, oh, they didn't just leak stuff and it was all made up. Like it was legit. Then they did another data leak on the 20th of August, 2015. Then another one, the 23rd, 2015. And the second round, by the way, included a bunch of emails from Noel, the CEO, which is hilarious.
Yeah, can you imagine? Because they went all the way back in his email box.
Well, and that's where they found out he was cheating on his wife and stuff, too.
Yeah, and he was asking for 18-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. That's gross. Okay, so bad stuff. And, it went on from there. They did a third release of data, like I said, in August 23rd of 2015, which was insane. It was leaked, but a little bit different. And it was a sorted list of government emails that were used for Ashley Madison accounts, like registration by their department. I love good organized data, but it's also dangerous because it included IP addresses, sign up dates, total amount spent, like the works, dude. So August 24th, Ashley Madison was hit with a $578 million lawsuit on behalf of all Canadians.
All Canadians?
Yeah, I think it just means all Canadians who were impacted by
Oh.
this. I don't think it was like, even those who planned to use it but never got around to it, we're suing. So they cited 39 million users were exposed, though. So maybe it was all Canadians. Damn, 39 million?
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So moving on to this, on the 24th of August, the Toronto police also reported two people choosing to end their path, or however you
Yeah,
want to put
that's
that.
really sad that that happened because of that. Because that
And
was one of the things and that they focused on was that lady in New Orleans, her husband.
yep, and that's the thing about it is like, I don't know, I'm cold-blooded. I feel torn because in one regard, on one aspect, you think about it and it's like they shouldn't been doing all that, but at the same time, it's like this has some huge,
Ramifications.
yeah, like, I don't know. So the data dumps continued between August 25th and 27th, and they were all sorted by location and state. There was also a huge spike in like identity theft because of all that personal information that was just
For
leaked and
sure.
up for grabs. So August 28th, Noel decides to resign.
You kind of don't hear from him anymore. He kind of just disappeared.
Huh. You know what's funny about that? I looked into it. And he's actually he does something high, I don't want to say CEO, but he's a higher up at some IT systems company or something. And it's
Hmm.
like, wow, really? Because the main thing is between the debacle that was the hacking, everything that happened between him and his wife and that scandal, but then also it was found that he was warned previously by security personnel that this person that was programming things, from the way I was interpreting it, was actually copying from another website, which is not legal. And also, they were cross-site scripting, which leads to security issues and all of this other crap.
Didn't they
So,
like Photoshop one of their security badges? Did you see that in the thing?
I don't remember that, but
Yeah,
what I do
they showed
remember,
them like creating the security badge that's on their website.
oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. That's what there's a lot of really shady stuff that went on, and they found poor security practices. They actually, came out September 9th. Gabor. Look, I'm not even going to try and say this guy's last name. Who knows? It could be a woman. I don't know. But they
Gabor?
were poor security practices, which who would have thought them being hacked like this? They weren't practicing proper security. But the one
Shock.
that was actually kind of interesting as well was they were pointing out the fact that these women's profiles that were on the site were not real.
Real.
Yep. Do you
They were,
remember the employees, what they were saying?
yeah. Well, maybe. What did they say?
Or like how, yeah. Well, when the employees were saying that they were taking these stock photos or these public photos and creating the profiles, and then a bot would respond to someone. And the thing is remember when you brought up earlier on in this conversation that it's monetization, right? It's those microtransactions. They have to pay to speak to someone and all of that. Well,
Right.
little credits they get, they spend talking to a bot. It's
Yep.
just AI doing it. So it's not even real. So who knows how many are real or not? And the company came out and tried to say they are all real. That's not true, which there were people in the documentary whose profiles were up there and they're like, that's not, I didn't do that.
Yeah,
So
like that lady that had people keep approaching her.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So that's all of that we're going to get into as far as hacking and what Ashley Madison is. And then I want to get into this last little piece that just really in the documentary got to me. And I know that there were other people featured, but the open relationship, like I said, cool. You guys are making a decision, whatnot.
Everybody
It's
knows.
the Sam and Nia thing, the family vloggers that do a bunch of crap on YouTube, exploiting their children, essentially, because that's what that is, putting your kids on the internet like that. But anyway, what I want to ask you really quickly, what are your thoughts on the Sam and Nia situation?
Well, I remember them from before this happening. Cause I watched their
Really?
yeah, I watched their little thing when they're singing Frozen in the car.
Oh,
That's
the
what
clip that they went viral for that
yeah.
they mentioned on the documentary? Yeah, so they were little family vloggers or whatnot and ended up going viral with that. But what got me was I found out a couple of things. So for those of you who don't know, who haven't seen it, who don't care to watch it, Sam was an overnight ER nurse, married to Nia. They have a couple of kids. I don't remember how many. I didn't pay attention to that part, but I know it's more than one. And he said that she was the love of his life and all of these things, but he just wanted something more exciting, but didn't want to
Trash.
blow up his family, didn't want to leave his family.
I think the whole thing's trash.
You know what I say? Ever try using your left hand, Sam?
Well, I think it's funny that he, like, admitted to it, and he's like, "God's already forgiven me, and so has my wife," and he wasn't even telling the whole story yet.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? But that's the thing that gets me. So he signs up for the site. And what baffles me even more is that the two individuals, Sam and Nia, still vlog to this day and were advertising and
For this.
promoting this
Yeah.
documentary. They were excited about it. We've got a documentary that we're in on Netflix coming out. Why were you excited about this?
Yeah, I don't know.
That's baffling to me. But uh I don't understand. He says he loves his wife, all of these things, and then signs up for this website, but then swears he didn't do anything. Says, okay, the worst thing that I could have ever done. It was the biggest mistake I had ever made. And he says it right after he mentions that he put in
His
his
r
real information.
That was his biggest mistake.
Yeah, not actually doing it, not any of those things. The fact that he was dumb enough to put his own information in. So when it was hacked, that it was, out of the bag.
Yeah, I'm like, "Bro, God," he's like, "God forgave me." I'm like, "He didn't forgive you that quickly. He's still mulling it over. It's been, like, 12 hours."
Yeah, I don't know about this God character you keep speaking of, and maybe your wife did forgive you. I don't understand that. That's crazy because he told her only after, not after he found out the Ashley Madison site got hacked and that he could potentially be exposed. He didn't tell her then.
No.
He didn't tell her until he was specifically exposed and tagged in things and knew that he had no choice but to tell her and proceeded to tell her, I only signed up for the site. Nothing happened. I never met up with anybody, yada, yada, yada. And so she was able to get past that.
Yeah, but then he came out that he was, like, going to massage parlors, hitting on her friends,
Who,
and
yeah,
who
who
did
doesn't talk to her anymore, didn't tell her why.
That's crazy to me.
I And that's what gets me is like, okay, fine. I personally can't see it, but maybe you can forgive him if he's like, I signed up for this thing and he came clean and whatnot. But then to later find out, but wait, there's more.
Yeah.
This isn't a value meal, okay? We don't need more with this. I don't
No.
want to supersize the problem.
I like how he called his pastor and was like, "What am I supposed to do?" And the pastor's like, "You gotta tell her." Like, was he thinking he was gonna be like, "Oh, it's okay. You don't have to
I
tell
think
her."
you should continue to
Yeah.
lie and continue to secretly cheat on your wife who is popping out babies for you. God. So I think all in all, he's a terrible person.
I agree.
I think he was painted in such a terrible light in the documentary, rightfully so, because he's that dumb. But my personal opinion on the Ashley Horror Madison website and all of this in general is that I think you could do whatever you want, but be open with your spouse. And if they're not with it, then looks like you can't do it. I don't know, bro. Like the open relationship thing, it doesn't work for me. But if y'all are good with it, you do you. But this whole thing of like, I want to secretly have an affair and get away with it, like, you don't deserve that.
Yeah,
Nope.
I agree.
So
Crazy.
I think we should tell the audience now that we've kind of wrapped this up. We do want to hear from you guys, though. Let us know what you think, not only about Ashley Madison, whether or not you'd pick bear or man, that whole thing, but also we want to hear from you what you think of the whole Sam and Nia thing. That's really hard for me to understand.
Yeah,
So,
it's a lot. It's a lot.
but Simone's already got us something planned for next week, which we're going to be on video for, everyone. We will, unless something happens and then we come in only
don't
on
make
audio.
promises that we might not be able to keep.
But we might keep it, so you should show up for the next one just to see.
That's right. Yeah, no, next time we're going to talk about dancing with the devil.
Are we meaning this in the sense that what we do on a daily basis, just living our lives, or is this?
No, it's a documentary on. I've said that word right so many times. I'm so proud of myself. It's a documentary on Netflix about a cult. Air quote, cult, air quote.
Yeah, because we don't know if it is or not yet.
TikTok cult.
It's a TikTok cult?
That's what
yeah, I have to do my research on this still, so I'm interested to see what's gonna happen and come up with this.
I've watched one episode already.
You know what I'm gonna ask you?
What? I was trying to think of a way to say goodbye, and I was trying to Google funny jokes about Ashley Madison to tell a joke at the end, and I got nothing.
So you did all that searching and didn't get either of them?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I really tried. I'll be better next week. I'll have my microphone. Oh.
What did you just say about promises we can't
know.
keep?
I know.
So I guess it'll just be a regular original goodbye from us today. But thank you guys so much for stopping by. Again, like, subscribe, do all the things.
Yeah. Do it. For real. Subscribe and like us. Or don't. It's up to you. It's a free country. Say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye now.
Bye. Ta-ta. Ta-tas.
Ta-tas.